Now, I hope you remember that today is about strategic leadership and high performance. For me, I belong to the school that believe it, if it is worth doing, then let's do it. Secondly, that it has not been done does not nullify the fact that it can't be done. It's just that you haven't seen it done somewhere. So I believe I'm speaking to leaders. I believe I'm talking to people that are willing to learn something new, because the problem is not because you don't know. The problem is you are loaded with information, but you are unwilling to take action. You are unwilling to do what you think you know. So today, I'm a business coach. I'm a life management consultant. More of my approach is to engage you. We talk. You know why? I know as your faces are different. The same way your issue in your office, your business, they all differ. So sometimes if I walk to you, I want to get your honest opinion. I want to hear how you feel. So probably we see how the problem is, we can now find a lasting solution. How many of you agree with that? Can I see your hands up? Say hi. I don't like that cold one. Say hi. Hi. Do you know when you study emotional intelligence, there is power, there's an energy you release when you respond so positively? Do you know that? So that thing of hi, that doesn't make you a champion. You are a leader. And because you are a leader, you take decisions in split seconds and then get ready for the consequences. Have you ever wondered why Donald Trump makes some decisions higher? Where on earth do you hire on Twitter and fire on the same Twitter? So he is redefining leadership. I also learned that your president do have a Twitter account. We don't hear. So he has made other leaders to go on social media because that's where the future is. Do you agree with that? So today, I was able to still manage to put some few things together that I feel I could actually pass across to you. But the one thing I want you to understand here is this. There is no information that you're going to get here that will be a waste. I encourage you and I plead with you that once you get this info, take action. So I will be coming to you. I will be asking you, now you know emotional intelligence. What are you going to do differently? In the past 2 days, we've been talking about, the first one I did talk about was how to position yourself as the go-to expert, as the authority. The one that once your name is mentioned, it rings a bell. Who wouldn't want to be that kind of leader? Can I see your hand up? But do you want to be that leader that everyone wants to listen to? Can I see your hand up? Awesome. So, becoming the go-to expert, correlate everything he talked about. You must be a leader. Leadership is about influence. I hope you understand this. One way or the other, you are influencing someone every blessed day. Even right in this room. The way you are sitting, you are influencing someone. The way you talk and the people you relate with, you are influencing someone. That's leadership. But you know, because we're not emotionally smart to understand that there is repercussion or reward for everything we do, sometimes we just do it unconsciously. But everyone is a born leader. So here's the introduction. Excellence is an act won by training, repetition, mastery. So nobody becomes an excellent leader by birth. It's a lie. But these qualities are learned. So when we say qualities of leadership can be learned, what are you learning to become a good leader every day? Why? Dynamics are changing. The way you relate to people is completely changing by the day. Social media is influencing even the way business is being run. Some bosses don't even know how to handle social media. You are having millennials in your workplace who doesn't believe why they should dress like this to work. Why not wear jeans and just be free? My friend, why can't we work from home? You know, we can do this thing actually and forward it to the client and then give you feedback. They do not understand why. So you need to be the kind of leader that is 10 steps ahead. That is the only way you guarantee results. Stay 10 steps ahead of the people you are leading. So leadership is not easy. I wouldn't tell you it's a walk in the park. It is not. But this act, if you've ever known, if I ask you now, mention 1, 2, 3 leaders. Even in Tanzania, you have great leaders. Mention 1, 2, 3 person you know who is a great leader. Your mind comes to someone, right? Can we do that? Someone rings in your mind as, I love his leadership skills. I love the way he does things with people. Now, that means he has some level of influence over you. That's why you admire the person. So what's the point? According to Aristotle, these skills didn't come from the womb. These skills are learned. So that leads me to the second thing. Leadership or leadership competencies or skill sets are part of your daily routines. Your habits, those daily things you do, makes you a good leader. Have you ever seen, some of you are leaders of organizations, where you look at some of your staff, you could say, this one will make a good leader. Do you have that witness? Is that true? You mere looking at this person, what happened? He's not in a position of leadership, but qualities he exhibits tells you, this guy can make a decision in split second once there is a problem. This guy can lead this team to get a result. And the ultimate thing, let's not forget, yesterday I mentioned that the ultimate thing, every organization, leader, company owner, business, whoever the ultimate they want is results. It doesn't matter how it gives them results and profitability. If you are a manager here, you have a staff, every month he gives you excuse why he can't meet targets, and then he's earning salary. From whose pocket? So you need people. Now, if you are still an employee, don't be mad at your boss that sometimes they are hard on you. Do you know why? You need to justify that the pen, the notepad or the laptops, those things you use are being paid for. So every manager wants to be able to have a staff who is able to analyze the cost of these. The data, if you are having free Wi-Fi, sometimes they say, don't use data, don't you go online during work. Because some people like going on YouTube, and you don't know how much data YouTube consumes. Then your boss says, why are you online? Why are you doing that? Like, is it not just YouTube? So do you know how much he pays at the end of the month? That's a manager. That's a leader. Now, leader don't just allow anything. They try to interpret meanings to everything. Do you agree with that? Say hi. Let's go to the next point. So, what high-performance team, because this is what we're actually concentrating on right now, high-performance team. What makes them high-performance? It's these 3 things, very simple. They are high achievement, that is result-oriented. They engage, that means they have support systems. And that equals to high performance. So if you are a manager and you delegate, do you give the person all the power that he or she needs to discharge that duty to get the result you want? These are very vital questions. So for the result to happen, because when you say our organization is high performance, every month come in, come out, We're meeting target. We are exceeding target. We crushed our target. In fact, we are trying to get rid of our competition in the market because our teams, they are doing exceptionally well. Why are they doing exceptionally well? It's because of the support system. So one quality a good leader must have is he must be able to support his or her team to get results. Very, very important. Let's go to the next one. Now, this is a true fact. This is very true. It's probably true that most people who work in your company will never care as deeply as you do about building your business, serving your clients. If they do, you know why? If they do, they themselves will be running their own organization. So sometimes the expectation is too high. Sometimes the pressure is too... Some leaders, some managers just want too much from their client. But the thing is this, if they could actually do it, they won't be working for you. Do you know that? But what happened? There's always a way out. There is a way you can actually inspire. That's another quality of leadership. That is how you can inspire your team. There was someone here from a very big corporation who met me. He said they are doing exceptionally well. But corporate bureaucracy doesn't allow their own initiative. Why? Because they're the one that interface with the client. So you have this bureaucracy where this is how it must be done. Okay, fine. He asks, how can we inspire change? How can we bring about? I shared some things with him, but something about leaders and how you inspire change in your organization, inspire your team. There should be an element of what is in it for me. We call it Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi. What is in it for me? That's the question your employee is asking. So why must I go the extra mile? Besides the salary, what else is for me? You know why? The human nature, psychologically, we are selfish. It doesn't matter your color. It doesn't matter where you belong. We are all we are selfish. So why go the extra mile? Why I need to finish up by 4? And you're like, can't you just wait for this client for 30 minutes? No, sir. I have an appointment. Hey, you're such a difficult staff. No, I'm not. My time says 4 and I'm done. If you live in South Africa, I bet you if you're an employer, hey, you cry. Because they don't play with their time. Once it is 4 p.m., they're out. They're out. And once it is on the 30th, salaries day, don't even try to defy to the next day. They go to CCMA. And system is CCMA. That's where they settle staffs, companies and their staffs' issues. They are so effective. And you make the report today, next week they invite you, the business owner. Why are you owing her? Or him? No, God bless that country. But it's fine anyway. So that's, the point here is this. What is in it for me? That's what everyone asks. That is why before you are able to get a high-performing team, there should be a reason. So you see why as a leader, you have to learn that act of inspiring. Sell the vision. He talked about vision. These are key qualities of how you, pillars of building a high-performance team. You need vision. You need an action plan. People need to know where we are going. Why should we buy into that vision? Now, the truth is this. Once they understand why, forget it. They will get into it. It's not disrespect, but there is, how do I put it now? Okay, fine. That joke might not add up here. I don't understand. Let's leave it. Have you ever wondered why some people decide to tie bombs on their body and just die for a cause? Have you ever wondered why? People decide to just do anything drastically for a belief. Who told them that? It's something they have bought into. So they can go to any extent to do anything. I know that is what most leaders want in their company. People who can take decisions when things are going wrong. They want staff that could step up and take the blame, leave their manager. They want people who could defend the company. They want people who can become brand ambassadors. So if you look at it now, employees is not just an employee. Employer is looking for an entrepreneur working in his business in the name of employee. That's what is happening. They want people who could think out of the box. People who can actually take responsibility. That's what they want. So, yet, there's a great deal due to raise level of commitment and inspire peak performance. It's all about leadership. Here's the other thing. Beyond natural quest for high performance, don't bother just to be better than your contemporaries or predecessors. Try to be better than yourself. So you hear people try to measure themselves with, but I'm better than the other person. I'm better than the other person. In the past 2 days, I've tried to share with you how you can actually stand out. So this is not about I'm better than this person. It's about I'm better than myself, my yesterday, my 2 years ago, my 3. Sometimes I do ask people in my session, I said, can you look at yourself 5 years ago? What will you advise yourself? Have you learned something that when you look back at 5 years, you can literally say, if I know what I know right now, I wouldn't have done what I did, or I would have done better. Do I have a witness? Say hi. So it's all about getting better. These are the 4 things, components that actually help build performance. One of them is vision. The other one is goal. We also have communication. I told you guys I put together a 2 days communication and business presentation skills. Why? Every leader, Engineer talked about it, every leader must be able to communicate the vision. The problem with most organizations is because leaders struggle to communicate. They have a policy people don't understand. They have systems that is not supportive. It might be good, but they do not understand how it works. What is the problem? Leaders can't communicate. Communication is very, very powerful. If you are in sales, master it. If you are a manager, please go learn the act of talking, speaking, writing. Because this is with which you win. You can even turn situations around. You can turn negative to positive. You can look at issues that is going to your detriment and then find a way. Find a way. Have you listened to Obama speaks? You would like the guy. It's cool. Have you listened to Donald Trump? Have you listened to him? The difference is what? It's clear. So, but besides that, a leader should be a good communicator. Don't pretend you know it. You don't know it, brother. You don't pretend to learn. You don't learn by accident. You take responsibility and then you go learn on it. So there's no way to say, I know. It doesn't work that way. Leaders take responsibility. Accept you are lacking in communication. Then what must you do? I need to learn. Besides learning, I need to read. The more you read, the more you have plenty ideas, minds to reason from. Reading opens your mental faculty. You know what happens? You are not only reasoning with your mind alone, narrow mindset, you are reasoning with the mindset of the books, the tapes, seminars, people you have encountered that comes to your mind. What a big man you are. That's a leader. So these are the 4 cardinal. If you want to build a high-performance team, then you should be able to know what is the vision that we have. The vision, does it support our team? Does it help them? Most times I recommend, rather than the old school, where you have leaders companies just come up with policies without even engaging the staff. Bring them in. I'll get to a point where I'll give you the rules, 10 rules of high performance, where you need to bring them in. Why? Everyone buys into something they are convinced about. Once they made input, I bet you will see everybody brings in their 100%. You don't beg for that. They will literally give in. So what am I talking about? You need a clear vision to be communicated, clear goals. And of course, you can't be a leader that doesn't learn. So you need coaching. That's why you need to sign up for that. So the 15%, so far I think I've gotten 10. That's all. If I make it up to 15, we are done. And I promise you, it's only 3 months, 6 months. These people, they are usually what I do in our program is we try to make you do tasks, set goals, 3 months, 6 months. It's that result that I'm looking for because I'm powered by results. Not just, I like your presentation. It's not enough. How is that beneficial to you? But after you taught us, this is what I did. I implemented the idea in my business. One trick I'll also give to you, how you can get things done speedily. All right, let's go to the next point now. So here are the 10 proven techniques that can actually help you. Point number 1. What are you seeing? Rule number 1 is compensation. You know why? Most people don't really have a better way to compensate their employees or their staff. They pay them low. I understand that the economy is low. You see why communication and inspiring, as in learning how to actually manage your team, is very, very, very effective. You can actually pay, okay, in the office. I needed someone to do the marketing. You know, you have to, as a business owner, you will need to cut costs. Do you agree? Do you agree? You will cost. I know those that earn salary won't understand. These ones that owns businesses, they understand. They agree with me. I totally understand that. So, how do we cut costs when it comes to marketing? I'm like, you know what? I got some smart these millennials, fresh from the varsity, that just did marketing, looking for experience. Come, I'm going to groom you. I will groom you. Come. We went into contract, and then we're not paying. She just get allowance. But she's happy giving in her best. Why is she doing it? There's a picture I paint to her that where do you want to be 3 years from now? 5 years from now? That is the vision she is buying in, not the amount she gets paid. It's the vision. Does that make sense? Are you sure it makes sense? Okay, so compensation is very, very important. Tie compensation in every convincible way because nobody actually wants to work for free. But if they must work, just give them a reason. Try to match what you pay with what they're worth, please, if you are a business owner. Don't be the kind that make all the money and then don't pay your staff. What happened? You will have a below mediocre organization because they will never think out of the box. They will only give you what is convenient. But if you need that exceptional, stand out result, stretch yourself. As much as you want the staff to go out of their way to give you exceptional results, so try. It's inconveniencing, but you know what? It pays to hire the best, pay the best to get the result you want. So for everything you do, leaders always put result first. Please, you can write that down. Result is what leaders go after. So a leader, an efficient leader, will go to any extent to pay higher someone that can deliver the result they want. Point number 2. The second point is give constant public recognition. Engineer talked about this, how you need to appreciate people. Sometimes some of the appreciation, you know, it doesn't really cost much, but it's just an attitude. Why should I recommend her? Why her? Why him? For what? So you discover that sometimes it is not necessarily like it is expensive. Back then in the banking industry, I had 10 years experience. One of the months I made my target, the MD of the bank from the head office sent me this acknowledgement, recommendation letter. I still have it in my email till tomorrow. It's still there. Sometimes when I look at it, I'm proud. Okay, now that's what it does. The feeling, the power, the confidence, the trust. You're making this person that is not just working here for the working sake. You also see him or her as contributing to the growth of the company. That's what they want. They just want that lead to honor, glory. Sometimes we even get a weekend away, paid by the company or the bank. Just go away for doing exceptionally well. These are little things you can actually do. Let's not dwell in this. Engineer already told you about it. So, good leaders should know how to compensate. The third rule number 3. Please take note of number 3. I highlighted for me what I felt was the action point here. Rule number 3 says constantly ask for input and ideas. Do you know why? Can I explain to you? I told you in the first instance or before that, the human nature is selfish. Nobody likes or wants to be rude, bully. You agree? Most of us don't always like to take instructions from people. Yeah, but when the idea is both of us agreeing to it, what happens? You see the efficiency, you see the contribution. Now it's no longer that it is the boss giving me orders, which we don't like. But it is, oh, we agreed we would do this. That's how you view it. Does it make sense? You're not seeing it as a co-contributor, and your instinct is going up that, wow, my advice, my idea is being valued. But these are little things leaders, managers can do to raise the performance of their team. So people are usually much more enthusiastic about supporting decisions and plans they help to make. That's the human nature. Just imagine you are a big boss, and then you're meeting one of your staff. Or if you're a staff, you're a line manager, the big boss just came and said, what do you think about how we can actually improve our service? How does that make you feel? The truth is, it's not bounded to take your idea, but for the fact that he came to you, it gives you a sense of belonging. That is what you're going for, that intrinsic value that you make the person feel that his thought, his ideas also count. Point number 3. Rule number 4, promote people. I'm an advocate of, please, I work in a system before I left where you can literally be in one position for 5 years, no promotion. They can give you 10% increase on the salary, but your position, please do not be the kind of managers. And then if you are an employee, well, 2 ways to this, but let's deal on this. Promote people on the basis of abilities. Let's just say your company is promoting. Promote on the basis of competence. Don't do favoritism. Do not bring in, it's my sister, my nephew, that political senator, that leader recommend. No, it should be on competence, because what you want, remember, the ultimate thing that a manager, a leader wants is result. Do you agree again? It's result. So the kind of result you get is determined by the kind of team you assemble. So when you think you can just pick people from anywhere, and definitely they will give you anywhere kind of results. But if you want that kind of crushing, and even your competitors there, they're like, what are they doing secretly? Then you must go for the best. Now, promote people on the basis of ability, not just because how they perform, how long. Make sure that anyone you promote has the skills, does have the knowledge, and does have everything it takes. That is why I'm an advocate. Okay, fine, I'll get to that point. Let me not go there now. Now, if you get promoted, don't wait for your company to say, go train. The point is, I read accounting. came out from varsity, then went into the bank, stayed in the bank for a number of years. In the period you work in, you were promoted to a level. At some point, you were overseeing people. Point here is this. Once you came out of school, you were taught the basic accounting, right? If you did accounting. Now, after that, when you were elevated to oversee people, were you taught leadership skills? Nobody taught you that. They felt you've got it, but doesn't mean you have it. So it becomes a necessity to go look for how. How can I improve? Like some of you or somebody asks, do I get or go learn about emotional intelligence, leadership skills? Go learn. So the more you learn, the more you are able to discharge. So you're not there because they just says go there. No. You should find a way to also improve on the position that you are in. Point number 5. Rule number 5. Train. Leaders. I like engineer when he in fact, from his talk, you know he's a voracious reader because I saw his presentation was loaded. Leaders, please get trained all of the time. Most times I recommend every 6 months. Go for a refresher course. Every 6 months. Go learn. That is the one way you can stay 10 steps ahead. You heard Charlotte talking about futuristic. This is how you stay ahead. What is happening in the industry? If you are a PA secretary, and you should understand that virtual offices is taking over the PA's job. How many of you knew that Google developed an analytic robot that is doing customer service, call center? They are testing it currently. What does that tell you? Some people will be out of business or out of work. Maybe in the next 5 years to come. How ready are you? That's for you. So the point here is assume that everyone needs to be trained. If you are a manager, don't put people there and just hope they know it. It doesn't work. They will fail. They will disappoint you. But if you want that outstanding result that you actually do want, so what you must do is keep on constantly, maybe beside the internal training, expose them. Exposure brings another level of learning. Expose them. The more they get to see how it is done. These days, there's a concept that is called glocalization. Glocalization means you are here probably doing something, but you are globally relevant. Why? Because the world is now a global village. I told you guys I offer coaching, virtual coaching online. Some people in Australia, in Canada, Ghana, we haven't met. We only see via that thing called Zoom, Skype, Messenger, whatever medium they prefer. What is the message? The point is that is where the world is going. And then you sit back and like, I don't trust this thing. I don't trust this thing. It's passing you by. So it's either you adapt or you get kicked out. Okay, so the point is this. Encourage people to keep growing. The idea is become globally relevant. These days, people like you can be here and apply for a job in different countries. They get hired. My wife in the company where she works recently said one of her colleagues, they are in IT space, got a job in Germany. Is relocating all the way from South Africa. You can become globally relevant. It's not a myth. It's happening. It's happening. What people are looking for is value. As long as you can bring value to the table, it doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter where you're from, they will come look for you. So please, I encourage you, managers, leaders, line managers, all you need to do is constantly encourage your people to think of how they can grow. The next point there is guide their growth. So it's not just enough to say, I want you to start learning how to grow. The thing is this. Monitor them. That's where you become a role model, a mentor, a coach. Watch them grow. Make them more comfortable to come to you and open up. When they make mistakes, you know, in banks, figure is very dangerous, more especially when it comes to money. They don't trust anybody. Come to the point where your people can make the mistakes, but still feel comfortable, not because you encourage it, but they feel safe telling you the truth. Who likes to be told a lie? Can I see your hand up? Nobody. So they come honestly, but you earn this. It's not a title. Because you are a manager, no, it won't happen. Even your kids, some of your child, they do things, daddy is going to spank me, mommy, whoo, they hide. And then when mommy finds out, why didn't you tell me? They start crying. Because they can't tell you, you're not approachable. You're hard to them. They don't feel safe to tell you the truth. As a manager, come with the approach. You need to mentor them. Yes, we make mistakes. Every human makes mistakes. No problem. But you know, because you are in the company, there are policies when you make mistakes. There's a way you approach issues. Even though they make mistakes, they still feel safe in your hands. How many of you wants to be that kind of leader? Can I see your hand up? You don't want to be, boss. You don't want to be. Awesome. Now, so deal with mistakes, problem quickly, tactfully, and forthrightly. So don't be the kind that rehearses the mistake. You did it last month. 3 months ago. You are doing it again. Don't be that kind of leader. Be a leader that is approachable. Rule number 7. What do you need to do? Practice good human relation. Everything rises, fall on relationship. That was why I started by telling you, relationship is becoming an asset right now. It's called relational capital. People that have them takes it to the bank. My God, they don't lose anything. Just imagine you know the president. Forget whether it's hard, it's difficult. It doesn't matter. When you know the president, and let's just say engineer was with the president last night, and then his picture is all over the newspaper. Engineer, when you step, there's a company you stepped in. People will just, welcome, sir. Value relationship, my friends, please. It is very, very important. So, part of your organization, make people feel valued and important by treating them with dignity and pride. Concerning your relationship, which 2 ways are you going to improve your relationship with people? Can you please write? Regarding relationship, I do not know how you relate with people, your staff, colleagues, but the point now is, if I ask you to score yourself, will you score yourself 10 over 10 in terms of how you relate with people? If the answer is no, I need you to write 2 ways based on what we're sharing right now, based on the new people you met here, 2 ways that you are going to improve your relationship. Will you call people? The point is, if you don't call, nobody will call. If you don't email, nobody email. Don't smile, don't expect it. Nobody's going to give it to you. So it's garbage in, garbage out. So which 2 ways do you think you can relate with colleagues? You can relate with your peers, friends. Write it down. At some point, I'm going to ask you to tell or share yours with me. Trust me, I told you this is more engaging. So I will come to you. The reason is we need results, my brother. And the first way to translate an idea to reality is writing down. Once you write it down, 10 years from now, if you see that paper, it reminds you. So that's the action. That's the result I want us to achieve. Now, rule number 8, you will like this. Provide plenty of opportunities for people to grow both personally and professionally. If you are a manager here, how often do you ask your staff, when last did you take a new professional program? When last did you attend a seminar? When last did you read a new book? When last did you listen to a new tape? Now, this is how you encourage people. Why are you doing that? Remember the first thing I said. You need to be clear with the why. It is the why they buy into. Once they buy into this why, you've got no problem. The result will be done. So provide plenty of opportunities. Buy books. some festive period, just call somebody, I saw this book, have this. My mentor is a bookworm. It's a bookworm. He reads like a madman. Every free opportunity he has. He's a busy man. But yet every moment he's reading. Then once he reads, he calls me, have you checked this book? High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. Go get that book. And I recommend it to every one of you here. High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. You would come back and tell me a thank you, because it's going to help you deal with some habit. Now, rule number 9, keep your personal policies simple, clear, and fair. You know, sometimes in some organizations, some people make some policies aiming at some people or they do that. They take decisions to disenfranchise someone because they are aiming at someone they don't probably like. So what is the point? Keep the policy. Doesn't help to have policies that no one actually understands. The problem with interpreting of policies is because communication is not clear. So that's one of the problems we have as a manager or as most leaders. Keep the policy. Keep what governs your organization. Yesterday we were talking about organizational culture. Were you here? Did you learn something? I told you about every organization. It's about the people. A happy organization, check, they are happy people. The sad ones, go check what happens. They come with their history, with heartbroken, with anger, and then they pass it on to their client or transfer it to their colleague in the office. These things are happening every day. But how do we stand out? You stand out by making this very clear and fair. So I'm not telling you that is a perfect organization. Please, there is no organization perfect. But you can have a leader. That's why sometimes you see people, when they move from this table, for instance, while they think this table is not good enough, they go to the other place. 2 months later, they're like, I think where I am is better. Have you seen things like that? There is no perfect. Forget how they look in the advert. The point is, the people you see and admire, they kind of exhibit some level of confidence that make others want to envy them. But you don't know what sucks. Like we do say, families stay together, even when they fight. Some of you, like where I'm from, we're now in the family. We fight, but we've never changed our surname. We still answer the same surname till tomorrow. So the point is this. Family sticks together. Make your workplace a family. That this one hurt you doesn't mean it's no longer a human. She's still human, he's still human. Make it more family-driven. Now, the happier they are, everyone is. What happened to the energy? It goes up. What happened to the result? It skyrockets. And then you're asking yourself, wow, we hit our profit last month. What did we do? And one thing, please take this for free. Most time, how you kind of keep your track of improvement, once you notice a shift in your result, please do this. Go back with your team or if you're alone, and then ask yourself, what did we do? Maybe that last month to get the result we got this month. Don't forget to do this. What did we do differently? Who came in? Is it that someone was smiling more or calling more? What happened? Find out what happened. That is how you heal. And then you continue to take the progress from here to the next level. You dig in and see what happened last month. Wow, we did this. Let's double the effort. Everybody say, yeah. And then you run. That's how you keep the team high. Now the last one. Rule number 10. I am an advocate of this. So when I do training, I keep this point last. So you don't think I condone mediocrity. Far from me. If you are the one that don't meet target and I'm coaching your manager, you know what I say? Fire. No. Why is business in existence? To make profit. Result, right? And then you have who can perform the first month, second month, third month. So where is the salary coming from? So rather than keep the poor performer to spoil or contaminate, it does happen in the workplace. Do you agree with that? Say hi. It does happen. And because he is not performing, the next thing is to start contaminating the other person. But what happened? But I didn't meet my target and I'm still here. Really? No, you should go. So, but that should be like the extreme. That is when the policy is clear. That is when everybody is treated fairly, with respect, with dignity. So these options like become the last option. But for me, zero tolerance on mediocrity. Zero tolerance on not achieving targets. Don't allow it. Because if you allow it 6 months down the line, what happened? You're going to have, if it was one person that was not meeting target, the next thing you will see is 2 will not be meeting target. 3 will not be meeting target. Before you know, it becomes like everybody is not meeting target. And then you start hearing, yeah, I didn't meet target. She didn't also meet target. Oh, really? But you notice this other guy didn't meet target. What happened? They didn't do anything. So you're contaminating the system that was designed for high performance to become the struggling one. Nobody wants it. I don't need that in my company. At all, I won't tolerate. So what do? Kick that one out. You need coaching. I was happy when an engineer talked about this. A leader, you're not learning. A leader, no one holds you accountable. A leader, you take a decision simply because you feel you're the boss, you can always take decision. No wonder your company is still where it is and you're not growing. Even the best have coaches. Even the best do have people they look up to. So why not you? So it's all about your why. That's the final thing I'm going to say here. It's all about your why. What is your why for being here in the first place? What is your why? I held a training recently before I came here for a team of ladies from Botswana Development Company. And then these are high-profile professionals. I was asking one, I said, why do you go to work? What is your motivation? It took her, the training was for 2 weeks. She had to go back 3 weeks later, called me to say, I think I found my wife. Because she was very honest. Said, no one have ever asked me this question. I don't know why I wake up in the morning, dress up, and just go to work. I don't understand why. Is it the money? Maybe I don't know. So what is your why? Why are you doing what you are doing? So your growth or your fall is dependent on the why. It is not your manager that holds your promotion. It is you. Tell me if you decide to improve yourself, whether your company will not promote you. Even if they don't, there's a company next door that needs your skills. So why looking for whom to blame when the power is in your hands? So finally, you need this 4. That's my final thing for you. And what is this? Did you learn something today?